Ah, here we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 12:05. Yes, yes, yes. Good afternoon, Monroe. We're live on the ratio in just a moment. Thank you, JR. Thank God for JR. Yep. Where am I? All right, we're live in just a moment. There I am. Hola. Hello, one and all. Noon Report Live. A little bit of a rant coming, then I'll settle down. Okay. At 12:06 on this Tuesday, my goodness, the weather, folks, the Chamber of Commerce, late Mayor Cience used to call this top down weather, meaning if you have a convertible, it is top down all the way. It is Tuesday. Good afternoon, one and all. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. You can listen online at the website, dpetro.com, wherever. People listen from all over the country online. People listen all over the world, actually, online. When I was overseas, when I was in Ukraine, you could listen online. You go to the website, dpetro.com, you click on listen live, and then you just find the press play, and boom, there I am, crystal clear audio. I also want to remind people if you're in your car, if with the Bluetooth, you just hook up your phone and you could listen through the website, which everybody is buzzing about right now. And I understand why, and I'm going to touch on it at the website, dpetro.com. And first of all, depetro.com, our website, which is proudly brought to you by and sponsored by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Lunch, dinner, drinks in the lounge, for crying out loud. You want a stiff drink? They got one waiting for you at the Coesit Inn, or a great meal. I mean, whatever you want to be. Let's not get carried away here, Juan. It's a Tuesday. 226 Coesit Avenue. Listen, pop in for lunch, pop in for a drink, pop in for dinner. Say Juan sent me, for crying out loud. Make my day. The Coesit Inn. I love Jane Rice went and said, hey, just want you to know, Juan says very good things about you. That's why we're here. Boom. That's the type of thing that makes Juan very happy. Now, this portion of the program is brought to you by PR Landscape Materials of Garden Center. They had a fantastic weekend. This stretch of weather is the greatest. So this is what it's like living. Imagine, like, this is, when I tell people I spent a summer in Los Angeles and I've spent a lot of time on the West Coast. This is what it's like living in LA. I was in LA. I got there before Memorial Day. Memorial Day to Labor Day. I was there the entire summer. It never rained one day. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, it never rained one day. Every day it was like this. Blue sky, sunny. Sometimes I was staying in the valley. If you drove to the beach, sometimes it'd be over. But in the sections of like Burbank, the Valley, Canoga Park, obviously, like Brentwood, Beverly Hills. I mean, it's never. I mean, it's just always beautiful. And as I look at the forecast, even though this is one weather, look at this. Every single day, it's nice. For the first time I've seen, we could get some rain on Saturday. But Thursday, 82 degrees. Today's very pleasant outside. And then tomorrow, 73 degrees. Friday, 83. Wow. It's just remarkable. So, anyhow, but folks, PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, they do such a great job and they have everything you need. Pop in and see them: vegetables and herbs, annuals, perennials, hangers, 10-inch, 12-inch moss baskets, 12-inch patio pots, tropical hibiscus, mandeville plants. They have great gift ideas. They have unique artwork, birdhouses. Father's Day's coming. Folks, PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Whether you want to get a plant or if you want to plant something 2 feet high, you want to plant something 5 feet high, you want to plant something 10 feet high, they have it all. And a tremendous selection of hydrangeas. Look for them on Facebook. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. And they're open every day. Their next day off is Christmas Day. So, well, folks, at 10 minutes past 12. Now, I'm going to tell you the latest. Obviously, everyone is buzzing over depetro.com and what we have posted, and it's all accurate. I want to you can see it. I mean, first of all, we had that wild scene in Providence on Sunday night. Little confusion with the play date. Little confusion with the play date. But what everyone's really talking about is the situation with the Johnson situation, and I am going to talk about it. I don't want to sound the alarm just yet. I'm a little, um, I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm not sure why Johnston police didn't. I didn't get an invitation when they addressed the media. I did not get the invitation. I am going to play it. Channel 10 was there. I've already reached out to Crandall. Not everyone works the weekend the way Juan does. But we had quite the weekend. Friday night was the police standoff in North Kingstown. Thursday night was the Silver Lake armed fugitive on the loose. Then Friday was the North Kingstown armed standoff. Only one there. Silver Lake, first one there. And then Saturday was the church bomb incident. Thank you to David Sammartino. Threat of a bomb scare. We were the only ones there. And then Sunday was and on top of that, I'm investigating the Johnson situation, which I'm going to tell you about. A lot of details are right there inside the secret room. And I hope the Johnston police are not getting defensive because I am asking various questions. But then also Sunday night, only one on scene for the missing child. Um, and I want to thank Stephanie Marie that had told me about that. But folks, I want to, sometimes it just helps if I do vent and get things out. And I get it. I'm on the front line. I'm dealing with, um, when you deal with the public the way I do, it is very interactive. I am not complaining, right? Like The Godfather. This is the business that we have chosen. One of the challenges is you deal with all kinds of people. They bring all their bad habits into, and by the way, this is across the board. Many of you right now you have the radio audience that's listening. Thank you. AM 1380, 99.9 FM. Then you also have the Facebook crowd, which continues to absolutely explode. Just for a laugh, I was looking at some of our numbers compared to some of our quote competitors locally. I mean, it is not even close. If it was a boxing match, the ref would call the fight. Um, so then you have the Facebook thing, which is very time consuming, but and Roberta Farrell knows all this. It's one element, but then we're also seeing huge growth with YouTube. YouTube is a completely separate platform that we've been working on. It's been paying off. It is just the growth potential is huge. Facebook is tremendous, and his Meta is, especially the live. Thank you, Roberta, is great. But the two areas where I have to look at it as a business that we're experiencing tremendous growth are both YouTube and TikTok, and both bring different audiences. I mean, it's whole interesting. But what I want you to understand is there's no like tons of free time. I'm actually waiting for a rain day. There's there's a film production. They're going to be doing something on Netflix for something that I had covered. And in order to I've interviewed with them twice. You'll see it when it hits. And excuse me. And I have some exclusive audio video that they want. So and I won't get into it too much, but anyhow, so they're requesting the whatever they want to use my material. I mean it may be sold, whatever they want use of the info I have. And I told them next rainy day that is on my list, and it just hasn't been a rainy day. So my point is, you got to work with like what's a priority. We would deal in real time. So but yesterday I thought it was funny. Carmine, member of Team One, went to that Cranston fire, and the person that started the Cranston fire was like a hoarder. The subscribers know what I'm talking about. I posted some of the pictures, and the guy had rather unseemly looking toenails, and but that didn't stop him from wearing slip-on sandals. So flannel pajamas on Memorial Day outside, a little bit of a giveaway, right? Obviously not a slave to fashion, but so I cut a reel. Just I thought it was funny, right? Of like summer fashion tips. And so as many of you know, right, the backbone of the program is humor. That's what we're about, right? If I could redo everything, I should have done a morning show in a rock and roll format. That's what I should have done, because then otherwise I wouldn't, the various scandals are from people that, oh, you can't say that, I talk right. Like Arlene Violet, I've never heard of this. People laughing, I've never, the whole thing, right? So, but this is where we find ourselves. So I do a reel, and it shows the guy with the toenails, and it's grotesque. There's nothing obscene about it. Then we show the guy that was naked at Dunkin' Donuts, and then we show there was a guy that had a rather loose fitting shirt Sunday night, and as he was reaching down, a part of his belly was exposed. Then we have Buffet J. Then you have a Lorza. So whatever. But now it took me a while, but I went on my way. And this Dawn Kelly, Juan's at it again with his jokes. I guess it's been a quiet day. Excuse me, quiet day? Like I hate people like that. Get off the page. I have a right to my opinion. Not on my page, you don't. Quiet day. So if we use humor, I hate that. Must be a slow news day. Actually, no, it's an incredibly busy day. But I found it humorous. People like it, respond to it. So it took me like a half hour to cut. Must be a slow news day. Who is this? And her profile picture has her fingers over her head like a donkey. I can't. I'm telling you, folks. Just like the guy, you could see that I have the wand light. And I know I'm going to rant, but I'm going to calm down. I'm going to tell you about the Johnson thing. Oh, I've never seen a reporter with a police light. Who said I was? I'm a crime fighter. What kind of did I say I'm an investigative reporter? You've never seen anyone speed the scenes the way I do either. I've never seen anyone with a police light in the car. You've never seen anyone speeding first one on the scene the way I have either. What is this? Go post on your, it's my right to put, no, excuse me. You're entitled to your opinion, not on my page. And I hate to play the heavy with that, but there is a limit. These people, and I also want to indirectly address something. Hey, listen, I just sometimes share the information that an organization may put out. Okay, I'm not at your beck and call. This isn't like a monkey. You put the money in the box and, well, what does that mean? I'm asking. He's not responding. Oh, is that the way you blanket? I apologize if I gave you the impression that anybody cares what you think. I'm asking what happened. He won't respond. Do you think that's the way this works? That you ask because you're unaware, you're naive, you're obnoxious, you're ignorant, and you think the way it works is I'm supposed to respond to your nonsense and explain it. El Rongo in any language. And by the way, it was very nice to see all our Spanish speaking friends on Sunday night. The funniest thing on Sunday night was the woman, the grandmother. I understand she was upset, but going into, have you seen this? And then realize like those people like don't even speak English. Notice no one even questions. We have people driving who don't speak English, but that's a whole nother topic. I as I have explained, I'm not the page, and I recognize this seems like a Facebook site, but it's actually not. Because see, I'm not offended. I'm not, there are certain things it's not for you. Right? It's not for you. There were some times there were people that saw Wizard of Oz and thought I didn't really get the plot. Okay, that's you, right? There were people that saw The Godfather was like it's too long. Okay, I mean when you have that, there were people that didn't like Carson. There are I could go down the list. There were people I hate the Beatles music. When you have that. The rest of us don't stand a chance. So I get that. But and I have no problem explaining to people, you don't belong here. You think you belong here. No, you don't belong here. If you use foul language, if you insult the content, hey, I like this part. I looked on the Channel 12 page, they don't have anything. Yeah, they don't work the blanking weekend. Okay? Do I really have to explain this again? Doug White has left the building. Do people not get? I don't understand this story. I'm looking at Channel 12. Oh my God, maybe I ought to take it down. Channel 12 doesn't have it. I am, but here's the thing. I can't. I hope people understand. I'm not discouraged by that, but it's just you start moving. There were people that watched. I remember I talked to this guy. Oh, hate The Sopranos. No, hate it. What? Same thing with these people. Oh, I can't stand Tony Romo. See, my thing is then, all right, then who's good? You tell us who's good. Any jackass can just say, I don't like fill in the blank. Then what's good? Tell us. Can't stand that. And again, I fully get him on a rant here. I am going to tell you about the Johnson situation. Little, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to try to talk to them today. I am. I'm going to talk about City Hall and the chief, or at least I'm going to attempt to. I'd like to think the fact I was not invited to their press briefing was an oversight. I hope that's what's going on. I hope it's not because I asked questions. The rest of the media had no clue what I was talking about. But I want to circle back. And I again, I'm not trying to be redundant here, but what we're doing in real time, it's not for everyone. I think there are some people you're better off just watching a television show. It's all mapped out. They do it nice and slow. They set everything up before the first commercial. I think you should just watch that. Or I think you should just watch Channel 10, Channel 12, whatever. They're going to do a minute 20 package. They put it all together. You just have to wait for it, but it's all right there and you can get it. I think what we're doing, it's not for everybody. And by the way, I'm not insulted by it. I'm really not. Okay, there's a difference. There's okay, checkers is okay. I prefer chess. Some people prefer chess. There are still some people that watch all these stupid sitcoms on TV. So I get that. There are some people that go and listen to bad music, see bad shows, watch bad movies, whatever. I mean, there are people like that. I'm not knocking it, but I also understand when it's what we're putting out is just not for you. What's happening? I need to know what's going on here. It's happening in real time. All right. Now, and I mean some of that. Just like but the humor thing, that's like insulting. Oh, I guess it's a slow news day. No, actually no, it was a very busy day. But I found that took precedent over something else that I was editing. I thought it was funny. Other people are finding it. Oh, it looks like it's a slow news. Excuse me, no, it's not. I can't stand that, by the way. But the whole thing. Well, it looks like a slow news day. You can always come back to, well, they just want to sue newspapers. You can always come back to, oh, they just want to get clicks. They just want to get ratings. The Celtics just want to sell tickets for the game. I mean, you can always come back to that. Then you come back to, okay, once we get past that, is there anything there? And folks, this is Tuesday and I am wound up like this. Can you imagine the people that paid? If you wanted to see the Celtics last night, they were scalping tickets. It was like $3,000. Can you imagine the buyer's remorse? Like, there's no way you went to that. Said, no, if I had to do it all over again, I still would have paid. There's no way. No way. All right. This portion of the John DePetro show. Oh, looks like a slow news. No, no, excuse me. What's her name? I am telling you. Dawn Kelly. Obnoxious. Obnoxious. Oh, looks like a slow news. Just shut up. Just go away. Go away. I'm not offended. Listen, you'll survive, we'll survive. Not offended. Not in the least. You know what's offensive? You are. What's happening here? I've never seen a reporter with a police light. Yeah, we've never seen a reporter being attacked by gang members and also being attacked by someone in an orange ski mask either. That's not the way I remember crime. Yeah, okay, let's go back to Cronkite. Okay, I hate to break the news. He passed away. We're gonna have to soldier on here. Folks, this portion of the program is brought to you by AtMed Urgent Care. Walk in urgent care. When you need urgent care, I go to emergency room. Well, that's fine if you want to wait 7 hours. But this is where I have gone. Now, they have two locations. So, now, right now, on this Tuesday, if you feel fine, there's no reason to go. I fully get it. You expect me to? No, I don't expect you to go to an emergency room if you don't need urgent care. Go to AtMed, ATMED, AtMed Urgent Care. Two locations, 1524 Atwood Avenue, Johnston, 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. AtMed Urgent Care. This is where you go. The cost-efficient alternative to hospital-based emergencies. You can depend on AtMed Urgent Care. They're open 7 days a week, They have doctors and nurses. They will take care of you. It's at Med Urgent Care. This is where you want to go next time you have an emergency. Folks, this portion of our program is brought to you by 401 Cuts. Now, let me tell you about 401 Cuts. It's a family business, it's a local business. And I'd like to, as many of you know, I'd like to encourage and try to aid and help local businesses. I do. And that's why we spotlight local businesses like 401 Cuts, small family run business, lawn care service. Contact them 401-585-6954. They're a landscape company. Now, I've shared their page on my Facebook page. 401 Cuts, 401-585-6954. Lawn care service, cuts, cleanouts, fertilizing. They understand. Let's help them grow. I want to help 401 Cuts grow. I believe in what they're doing. I believe in the type of service they provide. 401, which is our area code, cuts 401-585-6954. I even cut them a commercial. So again, your lawn, look at their lawn that they do for people. It is just fantastic. They're talented. Spring clean. Hey, still not too late. Spring cleanup. Get that lawn looking the best it can with 401 Cuts. All right, let's talk about, I think the rant is over. It's a challenge. I just, listen, we don't allow foul language on the page. I can't stop it if people are using it when I'm doing a live stream, such as Sunday night. I want the blanket Amber Alert. I can't control that. I received a message from, I don't remember what her name was. I was surprised you weren't beeping that out. I'm surprised you're sending me this message. It's live. I don't know how else to explain that. I can't beep out. Well, when I watch Cops, it's all beeped. Yeah, that's taped. Do you understand the concept of like real time? It's in real time. I'm surprised you allow that language. I'm surprised you're complaining about it. Don't. This is what's going on. It's raw. Must be a slow news day. Oh, shut up. Oh my God, these people. There are just some people. They just don't offer anything. They just don't offer anything. You ever sometimes like let me try a new restaurant. You go in and it's like, my God, there's nothing on the menu. Or maybe if someone hasn't shopped for a while, you open up your own refrigerator and you say, wow, there's all right, I hate to admit this, but there's like nothing to eat in this house, which is every parent's nightmare hearing any child say that. But there are some people that just don't say anything. Just like follow along. Right? It's not, we're not going around the room in the conference room where everyone's got to contribute. All right, let me talk about the Johnston situation. I know a lot of people want to tune into that. Like I said, I'm going to follow up. Hold on. I have to stay on schedule. I don't got to do anything. The other thing I want to mention is people, and I've talked about this as we're on a full Tuesday tangent. Poor Roberta David Sammartino and other members of Team One know that and I want people to like they'll tell you it's like this 7 days a week. It just is. What you hear here is what they hear, even when I'm not on. But it's if anything, Juan is I'm consistent. I am consistent. But all right, let me stay on schedule, and then I'm going to talk about the Johnston situation. But folks, this portion of the program brought to you by Propane Plus. Now listen, right now, you're listening to the radio. You use propane. Check 1, check 2. Let's go to check 3. Contact Propane Plus. 401-885-4209. 401-885-4209. Propane Plus in Massachusetts, 508-252-3359. 508-252-3359. They have a very user-friendly website. So contact Propane Plus Heating and Cooling. Residential, commercial, put in their zip code, and boom, they'll reach right out to you. Always there for you. It's Propane Plus. Call them 401-885-4209. All right, one more thing. There's a difference in its adults of needs and wants. Needs and wants. And I talk about this. I need to know what happened. No, you want to know what happened. You don't need to know what happened. You want to know what happened. I need to know what happened. No, excuse me. You want to know. Just because you want to know something doesn't mean it's going to be made available to you. and chances are it's probably not going to be made available to you. But stop with this demanding of I need to know. No, you don't. I even operate on a need to know basis. There are people I deal with where they tell me things on a need to know basis, and there are people I deal with. It's a need to know. I have people contact. Oh, I'm just curious. Well, be curious about something else. What are you, a cat? I need to know. No, you don't need to know. You want to know. There's a difference. Oh, I'm just curious. Yeah, well, be curious about something else. All right, now the Johnston situation, the Johnston killer. Um, I want to touch on. So obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously. If you heard the press briefing last week, for anyone that watched it, it was very obvious that I was kind of a step ahead, right? I played it. I've played the audio of that where I'm asking one member. I think I don't remember which reporter. Could have been Channel 10 said, does he have a criminal history? And then the police said, not in Rhode Island. Okay, so they're thinking, okay, good, we're out of the woods. But then I ask, can you confirm you had been at the house the night before, right before midnight? And what did the police say? Actually, yes, we were there. Oh, yeah, right. Now the media's paying attention. They didn't know that because then they started to ask about, are you concerned this will be hurt the evening commute on Plainfield Pike? As if anybody gives a rat's blank about that. How about that rat story, by the way? I'm going to read that before we're done. So So we know that. And again, I don't want to be redundant, but if you go to the website, DePetro.com, I have it all right there. So now, yes, there was a secret room. Now I get these people. I need to see what the secret, no, no, you want to see. Let me explain what's about to happen here. And I'm going to try to do this. I don't want to have an adversarial relationship with the Johnston police. I don't. New mayor, new police chief, both young guys. I like the mayor's father. Mayor Policino was there for a long time. Um, but I want to address this thing so I'm doing more information about the killer, James Harrison. And I think there's a lot of unanswered questions. And some of the questions are, and I want to just address something because you're going to start to see it. And I'm already getting it. And I want to, I like to clarify. I like to clarify. I don't live in a bubble. I don't live in a vacuum. So what I believe are pertinent questions, and I am not convinced we're going to receive answers in a timely fashion. I'm not convinced of that in a timely fashion. So, but I would be curious as to know how many times Johnston police have been out to that street, that house. Now, arrested is one thing, but complaints is another. So I've requested that. We'll see. So I'm interested in that. I'm interested to know when they found that this James Harrison was not home Tuesday night. So the poor man, the father, TJ May, he hears the noise. He sees his neighbor, the nut who lives with the mother next door, running from the house with a ladder. And then, I'm sure they didn't sleep well that night. Calls the police. So I would like to know. The police say, well, then we went to issue a no trespass. Okay, but I would like to know what did they tell the family as they were leaving. I think that's important. So that's number one. Number two, I would be curious to know, did they put out they call it a BOLO, a be on the lookout for, and that would go out everywhere. His license plate, his description. And so my question is for Johnston Police, did you put out a BOLO? And if not, why not? Because many of you know that watch Cranston PD Live with those flock cameras. If the Johnston Police had put that out and Cranston Police had it, his license plate, the moment or Providence, I think they use them, but Cranston really uses them. But the moment, I'm not sure that Johnston has flock cameras, but the moment that license plate, they would have been able to track him right away. Right? So if not, why not? I think, according to the Johnston police, and I do have this on the website, depetro.com, on Wednesday morning, May 24th, at approximately 7:30, Officer Scott Hopkins responded in another attempt to make contact with Harrison. So, couple things here. As you're looking through their statement, The first time around, they don't mention which officer went out to the residence. But then they mention this Officer Hopkins, who was on scene. I think the 7:30 time is interesting. And my questions respectfully for Johnston Police, and I believe they're legitimate questions, would be why was it 7:30? Why 7:30? How come not 6:30? How come not 6 o'clock? How come not 7 o'clock? How come not 7:50? 7:15? What I don't know is as they were leaving the night before. Now, let me just back up for a moment. I have learned that the killer kept detailed surveillance of the family, at least that family next door. It could have been other neighbors as well. Possible. But definitely the neighbors. He knew their comings and going. So, there's also other family members that seemingly left earlier. But Harrison, the killer, he seemed to know that the father and the daughter would leave at 7:30. Now, I find it interesting that the Johnston police were arriving at 7:30 because I wonder, we don't know, speculation, if Johnston police said, "What time do you leave in the morning?" And folks, here's what I know about human behavior from being on the radio, and especially from being on the radio in the morning. At other times of the day, people sometimes they'll go out to lunch, sometimes they don't. In late afternoon, think of your own habits. People sometimes run an errand. Sometimes people go out, to shopping. Maybe they go for a drink. Maybe they stay later at work. But in the morning, if you're listening to me right now, I'm very confident that in the morning, people normally they get up, especially with children in school, they get up at the same time, they shower at the same time, they say take the same route to work or school. If you have to be in the office for 8 o'clock or 8:30, whatever it is, you're not experimenting in the morning. You're not meeting people traditionally. You're not meeting people. You're not shopping. You're generally get up, shower, eat, leave the house, usually right around the same time. If you stop for coffee, it's the same coffee, same spot, and then you get into your. I mean, it's morning is when people are in routine. It changes as the day goes along, but in the morning. So what I am speculating on is that if the officer said, "What time do you leave in the morning?" and then Mr. May, who tragically was T.J. May shot and killed, said, "We normally leave around 7:30." And then if the officer said, "All right, I'll make a note of that, and someone will come by at 7:30 just to make sure there's no." Now, we don't know that. I'd like to find that out. It's going to take a long time to try to get this information. It is. Because I think their internal investigation is going to take some time. I do. Um, because then once the officer was there, he passed Harrison. Also, the chief misspoke because the chief, when he said he didn't have a weapon in the car, I think what he meant was, so as the officer's coming by him, Harrison goes like that to the cop, to the police officer, Officer Hopkins. So at the press conference that I wasn't alerted to, and I hope it's not because I was asking questions that maybe they didn't know that I knew. I wasn't trying to show them up. I was trying to get information. I wasn't trying to embarrass anyone. I was asking better questions some other members of the media. Was someone medlift or airlifted out of here? No. Are we concerned about the evening commute on Plainfield Pike? Have you lost your mind? It's not the West Side Highway or the Southeast Expressway. So the chief said he didn't have his weapon. I think he misspoke. I'm going to give the chief the benefit of the doubt. I think the chief misspoke. And I think what the chief Vieira meant was he did the motion with a hand, not a gun. So the officer then goes to turn around and then he sees the 15-year-old girl wounded on the lawn and then, her father tragically is shot and killed in the garage. So, so I think there are legitimate questions. So I want to just put some things in context here. So I think there are I think a very important time frame is when they were called to the house. That was very important. And why were the police arriving at 7:30? Now, if the police had arrived at 7:15, there's Harrison's car. It's now in the driveway. Now, Harrison is over here. So where he's parking the car, if that family looks out the window, they can't see his car, right? He knows when they leave, seemingly. And he either could have been ready to pounce outside or he starts to see the garage door go up. But as soon as the garage door went up, he's outside waiting for them. And as I had said earlier, now if Johnston police had showed up at that house at 7 o'clock, that guy's mother, Harrison's mother, Janet, he murdered her that night because she was giving him a hard time about the police and also exposing the secret room. So it is true. Someone said, what are you, nuts? The police could have been risking their life if they approached the house. Well, yeah, but they're trained and they, excuse me, and they have a firearm. So if you're asking me if this becomes an either or, if someone's saying, oh no, thank God the police didn't approach the house because that guy was armed. He would have, well, if you have a choice of either Harrison's going and executing his neighbor and shooting the daughter, or the police are like, come out of the house and then trained and also has a weapon, I'd take my chances with the police. But I really want to address something. There are people, and I don't know. I'm gonna try to give people the benefit of the doubt. They are, I think it could be politically motivated, but there are individuals that are reaching out to me on the down low a little bit. Don't pursue anything about the killer. Don't, no, don't. Juan, don't, no. This is what I was. Your focus should be trying to help the family raise money. All right, time out. Actually, that's. I would love to see that happen, but that's not my job. That's not my role. Okay, don't say, the don't start saying the family doesn't want any information about the killer. Think of how this is whatever you come out with. I'm pretty confident that no matter what I come out with and learn, such as the secret room and so forth, none of that is going to trump what has already happened. So stop with your main focus should be trying to help the Little League raise money. That's not my role. There are people doing that, by the way. There are. And whenever someone does an event, if there's going to be some kind of event or things like that, I will share it. I will help promote that. But stop with this, you're hurting. Well, not that they've gone that far, but I've been in the, nothing more about the killer, nothing. The public deserves to know what happened here because there's a lot of questions. That guy just shot a 15-year-old on the lawn. None of those Johnston schools went into lockdown. He just shot a 15-year-old child. How do you know he's not headed to where the other family members are? He just shot a 15-year-old. Is he headed to a school? But I'm not going to be intimidated into this. One, no more about the killer. Don't, he just, I'm not making him a celebrity. He's dead, by the way. This isn't a school shooter, and I'm showing his photo. I think there are, and I want to pinpoint, I think there are legitimate questions, very legitimate questions, as to what was said to the father on Tuesday night, May 23rd. And they got there at 11:58, and then they left a short time after midnight. I think finding out what was that communication, hey, and I'm not trying to, but maybe it's possible the police said, listen, don't leave until we get there. Don't leave until we get there. Don't leave your house until we arrive on scene. I don't know that. All right, so the officer sees the hand gesture, the 15-year-old, he's deceased in the garage, fatal gunshot wound. So then they're getting 911 calls. Their actions from that point to when the Cranston off-duty dispatcher see him, the killer, in St. Anne Cemetery. That how they operated, it's gonna come out. It has to come out. Their actions need to be examined. So, and I'm not convinced it's going to come out right away. But there are some real questions there because it took a little while for some of this stuff to get out. Now, don't get me wrong. There was then a bolo that went out. I'll be on the lookout. That is true. The license plate and the whole thing. And then as I was heading to the scene, but one didn't go out the night before. So I want to just sum up and I want to be fair. And I don't know. And I'm sure the Johnston police don't feel good about how this went down. I'm confident of that. I'm sure no one does. Okay. Cranston police stopped him. Cranston police stopped him. But if you are a resident of Johnston and people that follow the story, I think those are fair questions. This is not Monday morning quarterbacking. It's not. And that officer, okay, what is he supposed to do? This guy takes off and then he's got the daughter wounded on the lawn. I'm not questioning that he didn't do the right thing there and then trying to chase after him. But in some ways, I think they were a little slow to react to this whole thing. So I want to repeat what I think are legitimate questions. I feel terrible for Thomas May and his family. Rest in peace. I do. Because what are they supposed to do? They're living next door to a nutcase. And it's not a kid. And it's not some kid. This isn't a bullying incident. It's not a bullying incident. It's not somebody running the lawnmower. People hear about problem. Some of the media were reporting as a domestic problem between neighbors. That's really not what was going on. They were fearful of this guy. His behavior was abnormal. Maybe they never called the police before. Maybe they had. We don't know that. But clearly, them calling the police, which they did the right thing. What are they supposed to do? This family, we don't have all the details yet. But that guy returned to the house, Harrison, and as you can see on DePetro.com, and he executed his own mother. Now, it doesn't sound like we don't know that anyone heard it. Middle of the night, possible. I think it was one shot. People are asleep. What was that? Wasn't like a flurry of shots. It's inside. I don't want to get too much detail. Maybe they use a pillow. Maybe they don't. But that family, I just feel terrible. That guy, TJ May, what is he doing? He's trying to protect his family. He coaches Little League. He's involved. His daughter's on the St. Ray's softball team. She went to the game on Saturday to support her teammates. I feel awful for this family. And the Johnston police. Okay, so what? Now you're mad at me? I'm the bad guy asking questions. The people in your community are asking questions. Like, don't. And some of these people, what you should be. Don't tell me what I should be doing. Okay, there are legitimate questions here. My role is not. I'm comfortable in my role. My role is not to help raise money. I'm not opposed to that, and I have done that. I have shared when people are doing events. The GoFundMe stuff is different. That's a whole nother thing. But anyhow, but don't tell me like that's what. Let's not focus on the no. We are going to focus on the other thing, and I am going to try to get answers. Um, and don't say that somehow this is made that nothing can be worse than what happened to this family already last Wednesday morning, right? Last Tuesday they were alive. It was tonight, sometime after 11:30, when this nutcase started with a ladder trying to look in girl's window. So, and then it went into the early morning hours. So I think those are fair questions. I think they are. I know they are, as a matter of fact. Folks, this portion of the program, and it's brought to you by Falcon Pest Services. Now listen, this is the time of year. 401-739-1322. 401-739-1322. Falcon Pest Services. Pest control service for termites. bed bugs, ants, roaches, mice, rats, mosquitoes, many other pests. Falcon Pest Services. Look for them on Facebook and also their website, falconpestservice.com. Falcon Pest Services, 401 739 1322. 401 739 1322 for Falcon Pest Services. And also, they have a tremendous opportunity for the right person. John and Kelly, they have a tremendous opportunity for the right person. Folks, you could join this award winning organization, Falcon Pest Services. Maybe it's once a year, once a month, once a quarter. Falcon Pest Services, highly trained experts, whether you're looking one time treatment, monthly, quarterly, year round protection. Falcon, you can depend on 401 739 1322. Now, I also want to mention so last Wednesday morning, I know what's going on. I'm the only one. I have the photo of the guy they're looking for. So we're on scene. And I just want to, again, I'm not reacting, but I want to address. So I see some of the comments. Someone posted, and again, I get it, it's a Facebook thing. What is the purpose of showing the street where this is going on? Why aren't you telling us what happened? No, that is like ludicrous. This happened in real time. If you've seen the video, I mean, I was getting a sense. You want to be cautious, but getting a sense of what had taken place. The rest of the media to my right had no idea what had happened. They were sent there. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking them. But they had no idea what had happened. They didn't know there was a mother dead in the house. They didn't know that there was the father dead next door. They didn't know the 15-year-old had been shot. But this business is if it's happening in real time. For those of you that watched it, and that person, what is well, and let me explain. The police don't come down. All right, here's everyone should know. It's happening in real time. And I'll also want to tell you the purpose and defend the element of being live right there, because something very dramatic happened while I was live last Wednesday morning at the scene in Johnston. And those of you that watched it know, all of a sudden, the Johnston police, two of the cars came booking out of there, sirens going. So what did I do? What did one do? I was the only one. Follow the police. Where are they going? Then that's why we were first one on the scene where you saw Plainfield Pike where the Cranston police had stopped the killer. So this business, if I had not been live, then we wouldn't have known that. I want to come back to, and I don't mean it to sound like I am whining. I'm not complaining. I'm trying to explain to people, not everyone and part of it is people are just conditioned that when they see news, everything is immediately supplied to them. If you saw some of the footage, I'll go back to something very dramatic. September 11th, President Bush, Ari Fleischer, who I interviewed. No, it was, what's his name? His chief of staff from Massachusetts. Oh my God, his name escapes me. But anyhow, I interviewed him about his book. He whispers into the president's ear as he's down in Florida. He's going to read to the kids. A second plane has just hit the Trade Center. America is under attack. I can see him. And then he stepped back. Did President Trump in that moment know what? No. No. What did they know? They knew that two planes had just hit the trade tower. There is footage of New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, when he was still normal, on the ground, walking north, walking uptown, doing a walking press briefing. Towers had been hit, and one or two of them had already come down. So did he know? All right, let me explain, folks. So this is Osama bin Laden. There were four. No. Why? It's happening in real time. He didn't know what was going on. He knew, well, one plane hit a tower, and then a second plane hit the tower. So I just, and maybe I'm not trying to, I recognize this is like certain, but I also think it's helpful. Andrew Card, thank you, baby. Andrew Card, I interviewed him on that. I believe, because then President Bush just sat there. I believed. He told me, he told the message and then stepped back. It wasn't his role. I believed that Andrew Card, chief of staff, and I said this to him, by the way. I interviewed him in Boston. I believed he should have said, sir, for what it's worth, I believe I'd be more than happy to, explain the president's been called away on presidential things, and I think we should exit to Air Force One. I'm not telling you what to do. I understand, but I want to offer an alternative. Now, President Bush didn't say, gee, what do you think we should do? But he just had to sit there in the classroom, of which then Michael Moore made the big film as President Bush is just sitting there. So my point is, I'm also partly telling some of you so you can understand. Like it's these people, it's all in. Someone like look at Giuliani. He's not even telling us he didn't know what had happened. No one knew. Look at that. Bush is sitting there. He's not even talking about the caves. He's not talking about Bin Laden. He doesn't even mention the Pentagon. He didn't know. It's happening in real time. What part of that don't how do people watch a live sporting event? Who won? I don't know. It's the fourth inning. Oh, well, let me know who. I think it's more the TV effect. I think it's people are conditioned to watching a film and they're conditioned to watching television and they don't understand that it's live. I think that's also part of it. If I had to explain it, I think that's part of it. I think they actually don't understand, for whatever reason, the concept that it's live. They think they're watching a television show that has already happened. So, because I do see, and not all the time, I don't have time to go back, but I do see sometime a comment like Cranston PD Live will be, well, right there, why didn't he explain who that was? Because we didn't know who that was. All right, folks, right now, and again, I know I'm on a full rant here on this Tuesday. You're listening to the John DePetro show. No, I want to recap with Johnston. I'm gonna try to get information. I have a feeling it's gonna be a long time coming. I do. I want to have dialogue with the Johnston police. I'm willing to give benefit of the doubt as an oversight. And, they didn't tell me about their press briefing. I certainly would have gone. I have a lot of questions. Um, and I want to be really clear. When I am asking questions like that, let me be crystal clear about something. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I'm not trying to one up somebody. I am trying to clarify. Everyone can't be there. So I'm there. So I'm trying to ask questions that other people that I think are legitimate or unknown, new questions. Sometimes people have convoluted things that they want. I don't try to address that. Folks, this portion of our show is brought to you by Limitless Outdoors. Call them today, 401 580 1852. Limitless Outdoors, 401 580 1852. Full design service. It starts with a discussion of how you want to use your outdoor space. Limitless Outdoors. They do patios, walkways, steps, outdoor kitchens, landscape lighting, Harry, retaining walls, lawn installation. Limitless Outdoors. Call today, 401 580 1852. Get a free quote. They're based in Smithfield. Chris is so talented. Remember, their slogan is dream, build, enjoy, because it's limitless what they can do. Limitless Outdoors, 401 580 1852. Well, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. I want to just remind everybody on Facebook, thank you. You can share that you're watching. You can type in someone's name, it should notify them. And what you have to understand, the level we are at right now, where we just surpassed 50,000 just on that page, there's metrics you have to hit. There's metrics you have to hit with all of these platforms. You have to do a certain number of views watched. You have to have a certain number of people. And part of it is you have to attain a certain number of star levels to be able to, we're at actually a higher echelon of the commercials. I don't mind the commercials. It just pauses it for 5 seconds that you see. So you have to hit that. So when you hear me say stars, it's because we need to stay at a certain metrics. Think of it like we need to stay at 50 miles an hour. If you drop below that, they can pull the plug on the whole thing. All right, here's what we do. We have another hour to go, radio show. Justin Katz, politics this week. You're going to hear it next hour. For Facebook, we will be live. Of course, we will be later on. What we're going to do is take a break, get the 1 o'clock news. Another full hour of the radio show is up next. Leave it right here on the John DePetro Show.